by fans of high-quality entertainment. So this is the start of my series on Ween. So if you're a fan of Ween, please, support this series by leaving a comment below and liking the video, and make sure you're subscribed. So just wanted to show you a couple of t-shirts I have by Ween that were gifted to me by a friend, pal. There's the back. And she also gifted me 2 or 3 Ween CDs, because Ween CDs, as some of you know, are kind of hard to, some of them are hard to get these days, but I do have all of the studio albums, so that's all I'm going to be ranking in this series. I'm going to do individual reviews of each album, starting with GodWeenSatan, and then The Pod, Pure Guava, Chocolate and Cheese, 12 Golden Country Greats, The Mollusk, White Pepper, Quebec, La Cucaracha, that's hard to say. And I've also got GodWeenSatan, the double live CD. And I just recently got Ween Live in Chicago DVD and CD. And so this video might be a touch longer, but I'm going to try and keep these, not too long. So I've always, of course, heard about Ween through the years, since the 90s. And one of my first memories of them is I used to do these create music loops and do my own silly, stupid songs on this website called Acid Planet. And this was like the late 90s, early 2000s. And it was a lot of fun. And I did hundreds of stupid songs. And some of them are on this channel. And once in a while, and I think I was kind of influenced by, the crazier music I listened to, like, Frank Zappa, Sparks, Captain Beefheart. But once in a while, if anybody compared the music, if you call it that, to anyone, people would say, this reminds me of Ween. Have you heard of Ween? And I would just say no, and kind of not even want to check them out, because, the name itself is so stupid. But I would say over a year ago, we were doing some kind of CD exchange with Brian Massey. I think he's the one that offered me the album Quebec. So I don't think I'd heard any Ween music. And I love the album. It might have taken 1 or 2 listens, but even on the first listen, it was a pretty easy listen, and I was really impressed with them. And so I bought that. And then the next album I bought was their second album, The Pod. And honestly, the very first time I played this, I played it all the way through. I hated every single second of it. And then I don't think I played it for maybe at least a couple of weeks or more. And then one night, I guess I was a little bored. I thought, oh, I'll play this stupid, because I love Quebec so much. I said, oh, I'll play this one again. And I really liked it on the second listen. And the same thing happened when I got the next album I got was Pure Guava. I hated it once again, even though I loved The Pod. First listen to this, it was annoying. And I just did not like it at all. But I warmed up to it very quickly, and I love that too. So overall, I basically love all of the Ween albums. I'm not sure what I'm going to rank number 1, or number 2 or number 3. I think the bottom 1 or 2, I kind of know where they're going to be placed, which albums. So here we go. I've made a list. It's a nice picture of Gene. So Dean Ween is the man on the left. He's the great guitarist, amazing guitarist. He does some vocals, but it's mainly Gene Ween who plays guitar also and does, like I said, most of the vocals. He's in the background there. And they sometimes speed up, tape manipulation. They'll speed up their vocals, kind of like what Frank Zappa did. But sometimes, when you see their live performances, it's like Gene is so talented. He can do some of that without any tape manipulation. he different voices and everything. And they're on a hiatus at the moment for the past year. They've had their issues with things, I guess. And I just hope they're doing well. And all Ween fans hope they, what matters most is their health, of course. And then after that, hopefully they can at some point get back together and do some more live concerts and maybe even another album. You'll see it from the top. So these are the albums that they've released so far, the studio albums. And they've got a lot of live albums too, of course. So, yeah, 1990, the album I'm reviewing. And this is the expanded version, but I'm not going to there's 3 extra songs on this. Bumblebee Part 2, Hippie Smell, and Stacy. I love all 3, but I'm not including it in this ranking. I'm just going by the original release. And what I'm doing is I'm rating each song out of 5, and then I'll tally it up at the end for the whole album, divide it by 2, so the rating is out of 10 for each album. So here we go. At the bottom is, and these, I think there's 3 songs. They're rated 3 stars out of 5. So I still like them, but they're just, they're not great songs for me. Puffy Cloud is the final song on GodWeenSatan, and they're singing, of course, about being high and smoking pod and everything. And it's, it is kind of funny because they're definitely sound like they're in their element back in 1990. But it's a little, even though it's under 3 minutes, it's still a little, especially at the end of the album, it's like, okay, I've had enough Ween for today. Because but it's a fun track. It's not bad. And then number 25 is Old Man Thunder. The reason it's so low, it's under 20 seconds, and it's just, I think it's Gene, although you never know sometimes. I sometimes think that's Dean singing, and then I go and look it up, and no, it's Gene, because I said he can do so many different voices. And he's just doing a very funny impersonation of Bruce Springsteen, but it's not really even a song. It's under 20 seconds. So that's why it's rated so low. And Squelch the Weasel is the other one. But anyway, all 3 songs I like. I'm just, I like other songs more. And these are, like I said, ranked. So here we go. So 4 stars. Only one song is 4 stars. Don't Laugh, I Love You. A very cute song. It's nice. It's if you want to listen to Ween, something that's weird but not too weird, I would suggest Don't Laugh, I Love You. And the other thing I wanted to say is the production. when I first bought, like the pod and all that, I was thinking, and I'd read that, the sound quality isn't very good. But I'm actually very happy with the sound quality on the early albums. I think it sounds, I don't know if they were recording on 4-track or whatever, just, not a professional studio, but I think it sounds very good. So the sound quality for me has never been an issue with these albums, even the early ones. And then, of course, they would get more professional sounding on later albums. And these all are 4.5 stars. And maybe they're all, you know what? They're all five. They're all 5 stars. Yeah. So that's it. So Birthday Boy, which is the number one song, it's actually a very serious song. Uh, it's, the sound quality of that is a little, maybe the first time you hear it, it might be a little off-putting because it's just this kind of distorted guitar and Gene's vocals. But it's a very, like I said, a very moving, emotional song, which Ween doesn't do that often. So that's number one. It's just a really amazing song. And then Marble, Tulip, Juicy Tree is like psychedelic Ween. Cold and Wet is just the vocals. Some of the vocals just make me laugh. But the music is so good. Like I said, Dean Ween is such a great guitarist, and there are some great guitar solos on all of the albums. L.M.L.Y.P. I'm not going to say what that stands for, but it's almost forgot how you say it. Let me lick your. You get it. Nicole is a song that seems to go on for eternity. I read recently somebody was listening to it for about 4 minutes, and he was wondering I wonder how much longer the song is, And he looks at the time, and there's like 5 more minutes to go. And I think I did that too. But I do like it. It's not boring at all for me. And there's some heavy songs, You Effed Up, the opening track. Bumblebee is hilarious. And I do love part 2, which is on the, like I said, the deluxe version of this. Yeah, and so that's just my ranking of the songs. But like I said, those top 22 songs are all, I love them all, right? And it's just fun to rank them. And my ranking could change, day to day almost. But I think number one will always be Birthday Boy. And I think the top 5, I like where they are, and they would probably stay. But yeah, the thing with Ween is a lot of their music is, I guess, juvenile, crazy, weird, stupid, definitely stupid, but it's also really good. They're very, like I said, they're very talented. And if you haven't checked out Ween, I don't think their early albums are maybe the ones to go to first, but like with me, with my experience, I think it was good that I listened to Quebec first, because if I had been given the pod to listen to first, like in a CD exchange or whatever, it's like I would be so turned off. I might, I don't even know if I'd want to play it a second time. But I'm glad I'm glad I did. And so the rating for this is oh, sorry, it is out of 5. Yeah, what I was saying earlier, not out of 10. So it's out of 5, 4.73 out of 5. That's a pretty darn good rating for their debut. And so, like I said, I just love the band so much. I love my favorite bands are the Beatles, Sparks. I'm really into Donovan now, Frank Zappa, Lou Reed. But Ween is right up there with all of my favorite bands. And so I hope some of you stay with me on this journey. I don't want to rush this series. Like I said, I listened to this album 3 times more before I did the ranking for it. And so the pod will be probably in a week or in a few days. I do know the album really well, but I want to rank the songs and give it at least 3 more listens. And then you'll see the next video. So thanks for watching. Please remember, like I said, to like the video and leaving a comment. I really would appreciate it, because a series like this, Ween isn't, the Beatles or anything, so it's not going to get the views or the comments of some of the other videos I do. But that's it. Thank you. Have a great day. Have a Ween day.